o nosso coordenador político da província de Nampula. Nós metemos o documento há mais de um mês a dizer que a gente vinha para Nampula e mostramos a rota que nós queremos fazer a nossa marcha. Agora dizem que a gente não pode fazer a marcha. Vamos fazer ou não vamos fazer? Vamos fazer ou não vamos fazer? Vano, vano. Vano, vano. Mokupi, 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 mokupi. If you want to kill us, but we will fight. Se quiserem nos matar, matem, mas nós vamos para frente, não é verdade?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition, our special edition of the closing argument, where good politicians and serious politicians and educators come to do their closing argument. Before I go to our guest, let me go to Freedom FM, one of the largest radio station, television stations in Liberia. Welcome to our friend Morris. Welcome to the closing argument.
Thank you, and welcome to every one of you and our listening public here in Liberia and the diaspora. Welcome to everyone. This is the closing argument here on Freedom FM 87.9.
This is the closing argument on 87.9 FM in Monrovia. It's one of the largest radio stations. Ladies and gentlemen, you will be listening to us. Some of you may be able to hear us in Guinea, in parts of Sierra Leone and parts of Cote d'Ivoire. The Republic of Liberia is covered. We say welcome to Freedom FM. We say welcome to our parent station, Truth FM 96.1, Care Radio. Liberia is covered. West Africa is covered. Let me welcome our guest. Let me start with Miss Elizabeth Kuna. Elizabeth, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Let me welcome the Honorable, our former retired politician, State Representative Dolores Hogan Johnson. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you very much. Let me turn to Elizabeth Kuna. Can you please welcome our folks in Mozambique and those that speak Portuguese? Can you please welcome them to the show?
Of course, of course. Boa tarde, Moçambique, e boa tarde, povo moçambicano. Boa tarde também para aqueles que nos assistem de outros cantos do mundo, não é? Sejam bem-vindos ao nosso show, The Closing Argument. The Closing Argument é uma televisão muito famosa aqui nos Estados Unidos e temos hoje a honra de receber a Sua Excelência Presidente Venancio Mondlane. Obrigada. Sejam todos bem-vindos.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We have gone international. We are now English, French, and now we have added Portuguese. So if you are in Portugal, you are in Guinea-Bissau, you are in Momato, anywhere you are in Mozambique, this is our hour. Your president is here. The next president for the Republic of Mozambique is here. Is he having problem with his camera, Elizabeth?
I don't know. Let me find out. It went off. Let me try to find out what is happening.
Great. Mr. Morris.
Yep.
Talk to us. What's the latest news in Liberia while we have our guests?
Yes, basically what is unfolding now in Liberia in terms of fresh news is the situation regarding the former chief of protocol to the then president, Dr. George Manuel Weah. Madame Laura Findabondo, who is being built at the coast of our country in regards to matters arising from the Arab team for retrieving government's property and assets. So that case is ongoing, and the court had rejected the bond that was filed based on insufficiency. And so I think the lawyers, because 73 hours was given, and that 73 hour cannot start now. It should start on Monday based on our time here. And Saturdays are now working days for government offices, including Sunday. So the 72 hours should be starting by Monday, and that will see the opportunity be given to Madame Laura Findabondo to file in a sufficient bond that will allow her the freedom that she deserves under the law. So that's why I'm voting here right now in Liberia.
Excellent. Let me welcome Elizabeth. Could you introduce our guests?
Yes. You want me to introduce in English, in Portuguese? Which language you prefer?
In English.
Okay. President Venancio Mondlane, his name is Venancio Mondlane, is founder of the major opposition party of Mozambique called the Anamola. And he will be here with us where we'll talk about his political ambitions. I know that he has a lot of ambitions. And also talk about share with us some strategies, his political strategies. And he will also talk about what are we going to expect for the future elections in Mozambique, which are coming 2028 and 2029. So that is our president. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me welcome Venancio MONDLANE. Welcome, Chief. Welcome to the show. You are muted. You are muted.
Yeah, he's still muted.
He's still muted.
Yeah, you are still muted. There's something wrong with the sound.
Yeah.
Madam Kuna, can you just remind him?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
He may have some problem. Let me.
Yeah, while you're working on that, let's play some of the campaign video.
Okay.
Thank you very much. We got folks in from Botswana. That's great. Botswana, our folks in Botswana, thank you very much for tuning in. Let's go to some of the campaign video.
Alguém aqui quer desistir? Alguém aqui quer voltar para trás? Quem quer ir para frente? Quem quer ir para frente? Quem vai marchar hoje? Quem vai marchar hoje? Meus amigos, vano! Vano! Elelo! 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 Uma salva de palmas bem forte para você. Me ocupe. Meus irmãos, não é morte que vão nos meter medo com a morte, não é verdade? Disparar, já dispararam para nós desistimos. Pisar, já pisaram em nós desistimos. Cuspir, já cuspiram em nós desistimos.
Hello.
Amarrar, já nos amarraram, nós desistimos. Prender, já nos prenderam, nós desistimos. Engolar, já nos desistimos. Raptar, já nos raptaram, nós desistimos. Balear, já nos balearam, nós desistimos. Matar, já nos mataram, nós desistimos. Roubar, desistimos. já foram com nhangas, nós desistimos. Corrupção, vieram com corrupção, nós desistimos. Com mortes, já nos mataram, nós desistimos. Quem quer avançar? Quem quer avançar? Quem quer avançar?
Hello?
Yeah, there you go. There you
Oh
go.
my God. Now I can't hear.
Uh-huh.
My God. What happened now? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I can hear Jerome now. I don't know what happened.
You can't hear me?
Okay, I think he's live now.
Oh my God. What happened here?
Can you hear me?
You cannot.
But I heard you before, but now, not now.
Can you hear me? You are muted.
Can you hear me now? No?
Yes. Can you
Yes.
hear
Yeah,
us?
but I can hear you. Oh my God. What
You
happened?
hear him?
The
I can hear.
situation is splitting. Is
Okay.
hmm?
We can hear you.
I can't hear you, but
can you go out and come back in? Elizabeth.
maybe
Yes.
I can use another device to hear you.
Let
Yes,
me
please.
let you know. Okay.
Yeah, use another device.
De Nampula. É para o comandante
now it's
Tawir
okay.
de Nampula.
I can hear you
Essa
now.
mensagem é para o comandante.
Oh, he said he can hear you now.
Okay, great.
Yes, okay, I'll do that. Yes, okay.
Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Welcome to the show. Wow.
What is
Well,
happening today?
ladies and gentlemen, bear with us. We are all the way across the continent. We are in Mozambique. So he's having problem with his gadgets. Elizabeth, talk to us about the rally, about the convention that was just held.
Oh yes, that was is a national convention for Anamola Party. We also call Congress, was our first Congress, Anamola's Congress. That was in Nampula. It happened in Nampula, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And that rally that we are seeing, we had three sections. The first was with two. I'm sorry. The first section was the rally on Saturday, where he had to welcome the people. And Saturday we had the elections. Saturday was the rally, and then Sunday we had the elections. So that the elections that we had was to elect the president, because before he was not. He was an interim president. We need to have elections for him to become officially president of Anamola. So that was the convention about. And we also, of course, elect other borders of the party. Yes, that was it.
Thank you. Now I think that I can hear you. I can hear you now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Mr. Jimmy, you go muted.
Can you hear me?
Is it on
Yes, I
music?
can hear you.
Okay, good. Let's get going. Okay, guys, we have spent a little time trying to adjust our gadgets. Please share the show and send in your comments. We are reading the comments at the comment. Listen, I'm going to speak slowly.
Yes, you must.
Yes, I have to speak slowly so you can understand. Same thing to you. You speak slowly so we can get the message across. Venancio, introduce yourself. Where were you born? Who are your parents? Introduce yourself to West Africa.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Jerome, Professor Jerome. It's a pleasure to see you. My sister Dolores and my coordinator from United States, Elizabeth Kuna. And I think that Maurice as well. It's a pleasure to be here with you in this platform. My name is Venancio Mondlane. I'm from Mozambique. I am 52 years old. And I was born in a Frelimo Party family. When I spoke about Frelimo Party, I'm speaking about of the ruling party in Mozambique. But now I have my own party called Anamola. I was a former candidate to the presidential election in 2024, and I won the election in Mozambique. But the regime, the ruling party, rigging the votes, and the people protest against this situation, and we had in 2024 a very severe protest against the fraud election in Mozambique. And my lawyer was collecting the evidence to submit the appeal to the Constitutional Council. While he was collecting these evidences, he was assassinated with 25 bullets in his body. In the following day, I invite a national uprising. And that day, the regime tried to kill me. And I was forced to go into exile during 3 months. In exile, I continues to promote the protest against the fraud election. And in 2024, probably I can say that we had the biggest, the most extensive popular mobilization in our country has ever seen. And during 3 months, the people was in the streets protesting against the fraud election. And I returned to my country, and at January 2025, and I decided to establish, to create my own party called Anamola. And this party was founded in August 2025, sorry. We have something like 9 months now, but we become the most popular party in Mozambique. That's why the regime now, they know that in the next election, our party, certainly we will win the elections. That's why they now they are trying to stop us, to block us, using severe violence against us. They are using the machinery of the defense force against us. And 1 year, they assassinate 56 our party senior members. And now we have something like 400 cases of very severe violation of the human rights of our members, including almost 200,000 that was burned. And but we will not give up. We continue firm, and we will continue standing against the dictatorial regime in Mozambique. Now we launch a national and international campaign and call it the Who Ordered Anselmo Killing, because the Anselmo was the last one they killed. Anselmo was our political coordinator of a province called Manica. Manica province is a province of the center of Mozambique. And last month, they killed this coordinator called Anselmo. And we are using this event to create this international campaign called Who Ordered Anselmo's Killing. And now we have many people, activists from other parts of the world, mainly for Angola, Guinea-Bissau, Portugal, Brazil, that joined with us in this campaign. But we remain ready to continue with the struggle. Like we say in Mozambique, a luta continua. The struggles continues.
Excellent, excellent.
This is
excellent.
the Venancio. Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were in Liberia way back then, you would have understood when he said "a luta continua." You know what he means, because it was very popular in Liberia. When we used to follow Michel, the original father of Mozambique. But let's talk to us about the state of affairs of Mozambique. What is the state of affairs of Mozambique now, and why is it that you think you can make the difference?
Yeah, Mozambique now, like I summarized with this background before, the outcome is we are facing now in Mozambique maybe the deepest crisis of legitimacy of the government. And but also, I can say that paradoxically, it is a greatest civic awakenings in Mozambique. Like I told you before, what happened in 2024 with our general elections, the people in Mozambique, the government, the regime, react with very dramatic, how can I say, the reaction of the regime was very dramatic, because in 2024 they killed something like 400 people, young people that was protesting. They detained more than 4,000, and they injured something like 3,000 people. And now I can say that families across the country are still waiting for justice in Mozambique. That's why, and in its 50 years of independence in Mozambique, now we have a government with the deepest crisis of legitimacy. But my assessment now, I can say that what we need in Mozambique and what the people need first is the electoral truth. The people want to assure that we can establish in Mozambique electoral truth. Because without credible, without independent electoral institution, the election will produce crisis instead of a government. And we need in Mozambique very profound reforms, electoral reforms, the reforms of the institution of the administration of the elections. We need justice and the accountability. We need in Mozambique the economy for the people. Because, like you know, Jerome, Mozambique are among the 5 richest countries in the world in terms of the natural resources. But ironically, Mozambique now is the 2nd poorest country in the world. That's why I said that we need reforms in Mozambique, not only electoral reforms, social reforms, reforms in a system of justice, economical reforms to assure the young people to have salaries, to have hope, because there is no hope in Mozambique. And what I expect in my country is to change the situation. And the new generation of Mozambique, despite of everything, I'm hopeful that the situation will change. What we need in Mozambique, our task now, is to transform that courage of young people, to transform that courage in institutions, and that indignation that I told you before, to transform that indignation in program, and that suffering into a democratic, prosperous, and inclusive Mozambique. This is my assessment. The first assessment.
Excellent. Listen, you are. I wish my Portuguese was as good as your English. Your English is perfect.
I'm trying to survive.
It's all right. You do good. Let me work on.
That's why Elizabeth, she is here, because when I feel that I can't breathe, I will call Elizabeth to survive.
It's all right. You are doing very, very well. Let me go down. Let me go to Monrovia. Let me go to Freedom FM. Freedom FM, could you please welcome your audience as we speak, Morris?
Yes, so welcome to everyone listening to this radio. This is Freedom 87.9, and you are listening to the closing argument. This is your favorite program. Mr. Jerome Game is on, and Honorable VENANCIO MONDLANE, the incoming president of Mozambique, is live. Madam Elizabeth Kuna is also live. The retired politician Delores Johnson is also live. So welcome to the platform. It is 7.9 Freedom FM. This is the closing argument. Back to you, Mr. Jerome Game.
Thank you very much. Let me welcome Mozak Dennis, the greatest photojournalist out of Liberia, has just tuned in. Thank you very much for tuning in. Custodio MONDLANE said, keep up the great work. Just keep it up, Mr. President. Samuel Hollow said, wow, interesting. Anna Manada, Africa, Aluta Continua. Thanks, President Venancio, Dr. Peter Dayangwe. We have here Flex Electronics. He said, Boa Tati. They are speaking Portuguese here. Eddie Ja Eddie, he said, Anna Malala, enough is enough. And we will recognize you as we go along. Let me welcome our retired politician, Honorable Dolores Hogan Johnson. Welcome to the show, and welcome our incoming president from the great country of Mozambique. You are muted. Dolores, you are muted.
Sorry about that. Thank you. It's so much going on here. Welcome and congratulations, sir. I will pray for your victory.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And one of the key things, I'm sorry, go on.
Go ahead, Dolores, go ahead.
Oh, all right. I started going to Liberia with Jerome right after the Civil War in 2004. So I have been a long-time educator. And as I told the people in Liberia, and I say it here too, and I say it to you, that an educated nation and a healthy nation is a powerful nation. So once you're in, and we're going to speak positive, once you take office, please make sure, you know, I know it's tons of stuff to do, but those are two key areas that must get the best attention and intensive attention: education and health.
Excellent. That is our retired state representative from District 84 in Florida. She has traveled all over many parts of Africa, Liberia, Ghana, everywhere else. So she has a wealth of information, like experience in Washington, D.C., the state capital, Tallahassee. She's been all over the place. So, Venancio, you have a good friend in Honorable Dolores Hogan Johnson, someone you can pick up the phone and call, and she will listen. But let's talk about your convention that was just held. Talk to us about your convention. What was the takeaway, and how do you intend to marry the convention with Anna Malala Global? How are you going to do that?
Okay, thank you very much, Jerome. Yes, our convention held in Nampula province is the north of Mozambique from 20 to 22 of June. Is in a moment that we can say that it was the first convention of our party. And this is ceased to be, Anamola ceased to be a project, to become an institution with this convention. Because we had 400 delegates elected by the provincial coordinating from all over our country, and we had dozens of guests from Mozambique and worldwide. In this convention, we begin the first day of our convention. We begin with a march, with a rally. And all of this was deliberate because people, question us why in that such events you always start with the rally. You start always with the march. In Nampula, we start with the march, with people, with thousands of people. More than 5,000 was with us in this march. And it was deliberated because our party, I can say that this movement, this party, Anamola, was born in the streets. Like I told you before, in 2024, we had a national uprising with the youth, with the poor people, with the very humble people in the streets, fighting for democracy, fighting for against the fraud election, fighting for the lack of democracy in Mozambique. That's why we deliberate, start our convention with a rally in the streets in Nampula, among the people, the poor people, the humble people, because we don't want to lose that origin. This is the origin of our party. That's why the first day was in the midst of the people, in the streets of Nampula, and was deliberate in Nampula as well, because in Mozambique, the island, the elites, the politician, the institution, political institution, diplomatic institution, economic institution, are concentrated in the capital, in the south of Mozambique, in Maputo. And we went to Nampula to give a sign that our party is not a part of Maputo, is not a part of the elites, is a part of the people. That's why our first convention, we deliberate to held in Nampula. And in terms of the outcomes, we were out. I can say that 3 outcomes were decisive. In this outcome, the first one was the approval of the status of the party, the declaration of the principles of the party, the political program of the party. And these documents define who really we are, like Anamola, a force, a political force of free and autonomous Mozambique, founded in democratic integrity, social justice, and the sovereignty of the citizen. And this convention was elected the national bodies of the party, including the National Council, the Executive Commission, to give to our party a legitimate structure from the base, from the top. And maybe something very, a good surprise. Maybe not a surprise, but a very sweet thing. In this convention, the delegates elected the party's first president of Anamola.
And who was that?
It's the guy that was talking. Venancio Mondlane.
Venancio Mondlane.
Jerome friends.
Yes, my own friend. And I'm going to be coming to see you, and I'm going to be there Rest assured, I will be in Mozambique. I am a member of Anamalada, and I'm going to make sure that Elizabeth
Yes.
and I we will be campaigning everywhere. But before we go any further, Honorable Johnson,
Yes.
you have been through the campaign, the rigors of
Mhm.
debate, and everything else. What are some advice you want to give the president here when it comes to the rigor of campaign? What does it take to be a winning candidate?
You got to speak from the heart. And when you come from the heart, the people understand that. Be consistent in what you say, and you speak to them where they are. You know, it's poverty. And, you know, I heard what you said about one of the 5 richest countries as far as natural resources and minerals. Same thing in Liberia. So you're going to have to be careful with aligning yourself. You do not want the country continually, and I don't use this word lightly, but raped of its resources, and it's going out of the country. But be sincere. Let them know that you want them educated. You want them healthy. You want them to be able to make a living, a decent living on their own. You know, they're not looking for handout, but hand up. And my administration say that, you know, is here to help you be the men and women, and you young people, you are our future. We can't get away from that. And we want you to pay attention. Everybody needs to pay attention, because people can talk. I mean, they've got some lines to feed you, but you've got to be sincere, because when you are, the people will sense it. But be consistent in your speech. Show that you care. You know your country. You know what they're capable of. And you want to bring about the resources, the atmosphere, where they will thrive. And they're not wondering where will their next meal be. Why can't I find safe and decent housing? These are things that are number one in people's minds. Shelter, food, security. So speak to that, and say you can be a part of this new awakening, this new birth for Mozambique.
Excellent, excellent. Now let me I'm going to go to Elizabeth, but before I go to Elizabeth, I want you to think about it. Take time and think. Women's right and women's participation in government in Mozambique. Think about that, Venancio. Think about that. I'm coming back to you. Kuna, let's talk about women's right and women's participation in government in Mozambique. Your rights, your participation. How is it going in Mozambique?
Thank you for the question. That it's a very interesting question, especially because I'm a woman. But in Mozambique, the women participation in government, I think it's not that good, but we are trying to get there. We have some women in government, and but I don't think we reach where we're supposed to. I'm hoping that when Mr. President, our president, take the office, will be even better, because in our party we have a lot of women. As you can see, I'm here in America, and I'm a coordinator of Anamola. And if you look at all over the world, most of the representation of Anamola are women. So this is very, it's wonderful. It's great. So that's what I think about the women participation in politics. We are getting there. As Ms. Johnson was saying, what we need more is to is to get more education. People need to get more education, need to get more educated so that we can raise our voice, so we can say something. Because without education, nothing we can do. We need more. We have to invest more in education as well. Thank you.
Excellent. Now, Venancio, I'm looking at you as the president. What are you doing for women to uplift women? We need women. They are in the majority. They are good thinkers. They are balanced. They are mothers. If you educate one woman, you educate the entire nation. What is your policy on women in politics?
Yes, Jerome. What my assessment in this issue, I think that I can make a very high philosophy thesis here, but I think that the most important is like our sister and our mother Dolores said. We must talk to the heart of the people, and we must show our works, and we must show and we must teach using the examples what we are doing in our midst. I will share with you the experience of Anamola in this issue of respect and empowering the women. And our organization, I am the president. We have a body very important that is executive commission. In this executive commission, half of the members are women. And the spokesman of this commission is a woman as well. And we have in our party 5 social organizations in our party. The organization, the social organization of the youth, the leader is a woman. We have the organization of the women. The leader is a woman. We have an organization of the elders. The leader is the women. We have an organization called VMCET movement. The leader is a woman as well. This is the example that we think that speak louder than a philosophy. And what we manage our organization is what we want to prove that we will do and we want to do when we reach the government in Mozambique. Yes.
Excellent.
But if you allow me, Jerome,
yes.
if you allow me to conclude the last question.
Yes, go ahead.
If you allow me, I want to say that I was elected president of Anamola, the first president of this party, but I want to receive that mandate with humility. And I understand that it's not as a personal victory, but a very high responsibility to prepare Anamola for something very huge. Is to prepare Anamola to compete and to win and the municipal election in 2028 and general election in 2029. But above all of this is to prepare and to offer the Mozambicans a credible alternative of government to Mozambicans, to our people.
Yes.
And
Yes.
as for Ana Malala Africa, like you link our party with Anna Malala, and Anna Malala is a word of the language of the majority tribe in Mozambique, of the north of Mozambique. This tribe called it Emakua. And this word, Anna Malala, it means enough is enough.
Enough is enough, okay?
Enough is Anna Malala. In the Emakua language, is enough. And what can I now, the relationship between this global movement called Anna Malala Africa and our party Anna Mola is Anna Mola is a national expression of an ideal that does not end at our borders. Is our party, but does not end in our borders. Anna Malala, I can say that begin like an ideal of the Mozambican people, the affirmation that the suffering of the people shall end. And that cry of the people of Mozambique speaks to the Africans everywhere who face captured states, stolen election, and the economy that enrich the elites while the nation remain poor. Anna Malala Africa, that global movement that has the coordinator, our professor, Peter Ndiangu, that movement is the continental dimension of the struggle. It is a movement of Pan-African solidarity for accountable governance, dignity, and economy emancipation. I can say that Anna Mola fights for Mozambique, and Anna Malala Africa connects that fight to the renaissance of the whole continent. I can say that Anna Mola, our part in Mozambique, is a tree. Anna Malala Africa is the forest. To conclude, thank you very much, Sharon.
Excellent, excellent. Now, you're talking about Anna Malala being the forest. Let's talk about the marsh and marsh in South Africa. We see xenophobia. We see everything. Talk to us. What is your feeling about what's going on in South Africa?
Yes, thank you very much. As the South Africa now is suddenly became a very famous country in the world due to this, the xenophobia. Some people call it Africaphobia or black phobia. But I addressed a message 2 days ago to this movement called the March and March, and addressed a message as well to the all Mozambicans living in South Africa and all Africans from other countries that are living in South Africa. In this message, I said that I understand and the struggle of the March and March, we understand the situation of the people of South Africa, because we have got some more or less some maybe 30% of youth people in South Africa that are unemployed. But I told the March and March movement in South Africa that when a citizen stand together against the injustice, mismanagement, against corruption, against poverty, we are more strong. And we can say that we have the same focus. And I was motivated to address this message because what happens in South Africa affects the regions, and the regional solidarity matters. And what I told to the March and March movement, I said that the struggle, we are with them because we feel that they are suffering. We feel that they want to change the paradigm, and we agree with them. But what we say is that they must change the focus because they are now they are attacked, and the target is wrong. The target must not be the foreigners. The target must not be other Africans. I make a proposal to the March and March movement, and I told them that we should take our battles to the doorsteps of the dictators, to the doorstep of the governments that now they are driving our countries to the abyss. They are driving our countries with mismanagement, with corruption. For example, Mozambique now, we are known like the country that have a big cost, but our costs are known like the heroin cost. The heroin cost. And the brother of the former president of South Africa, called Mwelesi Mbeki, he wrote a book, and that book, he said that South Africa is facing a huge drama. This huge drama is related with the youth people that are devastated now because there are a very big, they are consuming a drug called Nyayope, that they mix heroin with marijuana, with other drugs. And that heroin that are devastating the youth people of South Africa are coming from the coast of Mozambique. Is one of the largest corridor of the heroin in the world. And the promoter of that drug traffic is the regime of the Mozambique, Frelimo. This is not my words. It's the words of a well-respected university professor, Mwelesi Mbeki. He said that the regime of Mozambique, the Frelimo, is promoting the largest drug traffic of heroin in Africa. That's why I advise the March and March movement that we must move together. We must march together, not against another foreigner African. No, we must march together to the doorsteps of the dictators, to the doorsteps of the government of the neighboring countries in Mozambique, in South Africa. We must march together to the embassy. We must march together to the rulers that are driving our countries to the abyss. This is my message to the March and March movement. And we understand the concern. We understand that they are suffering. We understand everything, but we must change the paradigm. The enemy is not the foreigner. The enemy is not your fellow brothers. The enemy is the rulers. The enemy is the ruling parties in Southern Africa. I have a book here of a university professor called The Liberation and Corruption in Southern Africa. And he described how the ruling parties like ANC, Frelimo, ZANU-PF, Shama Pinduzi, they drive our countries to abyss. And these ruling parties betrayed the ideals of the struggle of the people of Africa. And in that book, I like a word that he mentioned from Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela said in the 1997 that the ruling parties, the liberation parties, they developed something very dangerous that Nelson Mandela called the carrierism. Carrierism. They don't look at the mission. Like my mother said, Dolores said that to be a leader is a mission, is a purpose. It's not a profession. It's not something that we can call a careerism, like Mandela said. It's not a careerism. It's not a profession. It's a mission. It's a purpose. It means that the Liberation Party now, they betrayed the purpose. They betrayed the mission. Now the focus is the prosperity basis in looting the national wealth, looting the African wealth. This is the problem now. This is why I address this message to the March and March movement. We must understand the problem, the enemy are the rulers, the enemy are the governments, the enemy are the ruling parties that betrayed us, and they are looting the wealth of the African people.
Wow.
Thank you very much, Jerome.
Morris, if you can mute, that would be fine. I think you said something that is very familiar. You are saying they are looting, and the government, based on the research by the universities, that the southern part of Mozambique, the drug trafficking in Mozambique is being sponsored by the powerful elites, the government. Is that what you just said?
Yes. And do you know something? In Mozambique, they can accuse me that I'm making propaganda. That's why I mentioned a very known and respected university professor, the Moles Mbeki, the brother of the former president of South Africa. He wrote a book and they explain with all the details how the ruling parties sponsored the drug traffic, mainly the heroin in the Southern Africa region.
Excellent. Honorable Victor Namwe, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Gemma. It's good to be with you. Mr. VENANCIO MONDLANE, welcome. It's good to have you. Shall we say benvindos? Am I saying it right?
Benvindo. That's correct. Benvindo. Yes.
It's good to have you. Ms. Kuna, we had you yesterday. It's good to have you again back. And also Ms. Johnson. It's good to see you. Ms. Morris, how are you?
Thank you.
and Mr. David in the back. So welcome. I was listening to you in the back, and I'm really impressed. If you don't mind, for a man of my age.
Oh.
Okay. While he's adjusting his mic, Mr. Morris.
Yep, Mr. Gilman.
Let's look at. I think you just heard what he said. The reason I'm turning to you, I don't want you to opine because your audience, I know you're busy, but he said something. He said the drug trafficking trade in South Africa is being sponsored by the upper echelon of power. It sounds familiar. I think Liberia is going through something similar. And the professor, the great professor, who is the brother of Mbeki, said in detail the routes, the sponsors, the managers, and the facilitators of that trade are the government and government officials. Morris, I don't want you to opine, but it sounds very familiar to what you're going through in Monrovia.
Sure, Mr. Gilman. And the incoming president of Mozambique just said it right. What is going on with this proliferation of drug around the region? It's clear and pervasive that the highest echelon of power, those that wield all of the authority and wealth, are the people that are encouraging this drug issue to bring down our societies. If you would do the analysis from what he just said, the drug that was uncovered through our airport, that drug had a destination. That drug had where it was coming from and it had where it was going. Up till now, we are approximately a month now since this drug issue was uncovered, and yet we have not heard from the government as to who sent the drug and who was to receive it and where were they transiting the drug to. Those are responsibilities that are onus on the government to provide for the public to have a broader understanding as to where we are headed as a society. This drug issue is not an ordinary fight. This is a fight that all hands need to be on deck to make sure that we weed it out of the society, because it is something that even creates a brain drain. Most of our young people, if you see, right now as we are even speaking, in our various communities, for my community that I live in, the young people are on the streets taking substances that are illegal. But in fact, the government, through the legislature, have passed on a law that says this particular offense will be non-bailable. You cannot bail anybody out when they commit such offense. Today, in Central Town, in the central part of our capital, young people are on the streets taking in substances that have been rendered illegal. So what the incoming president of Mozambique just said, it really pricked me, because it is the same situation we are faced with. The government is pushing for drug to be eradicated from the society so as to create a civilized society and an environment that will respect and have love for one another, while at the same time the government has reneged on giving the information that should be provided to the public in regards to this huge amount of drug that was being transited through Liberia. And it has a dent on the image of our country. So these are all of the different situations that we need to put hands on deck and fight. So I want to agree with Mr. Venancio Mondlane, the incoming president of Mozambique, that this drug issue is not on a low scale, it's not being perpetrated by people from the low class or people who are hungry and suffering. It is being controlled by the cabal, and the cartel is at the highest level of power. That's why this issue cannot easily be or be obliterated from the society. If those people who are up there can help in laying a foundation for this drug issue to be stamped and nipped in the bud, I can assure you, Mr. Gilbert, and our panelists, our followers, the world, Africa, Liberia, South Africa, Mozambique, all of these places will have a society where we as citizens will understand our rights and responsibilities and properly balance them, because drug is killing the society. Drug is even creating more scenes for crimes to be perpetrated against peaceful citizens. So, Mr. Incoming President, I will encourage you to make sure that is included, and you stay firm in making sure that you fight this issue, because the young people, they are the future of Africa tomorrow. If their future is damaged today, where will Africa be in the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? If these young people are not thinking about going forward with their education, allowing themselves to expand in terms of prosperity and opportunities, and they are hooked on drug, how do we expect a better Africa tomorrow? So I want to agree with you, and you have my support here from Freedom FM 87.9. That's my position, Mr. Gilman, and our panelists.
Thank you very much. That's the voice of Morris, 87.9 FM, downtown Monrovia, Freedom FM. When we are talking about freedom, Venancio, you are on the right channel. You are on. There are thousands and hundreds of thousands of folks who do not have access to data to tune in, but they listen to the radio all over the place. So you got people listening, parts of Sierra Leone, we got some people listening, parts of a little parts of Guinea, part of Cote d'Ivoire. So everybody's listening to you, and you touched a nerve when you said the drug issue is not for the little people, is being controlled by power. There's somebody who is responsible. There's no way in Liberia you're going to have $20 million worth of cocaine to come to the airport, to leave the plane, to get into the warehouse, to have everything without the security, without intelligence, without the police, without the drug. It has to be at a very high level. So yes, Venancio, that's one language you spoke that everybody understands, that we have to fight this. It's a cartel. We have to fight. Elizabeth, you are a young woman. You are in graduate school at American University. This is your generation. This is your cause. This is your fight. How do you communicate with young women who look at you as role model?
Thank you again, Mr. Jerome. I really agree that it's a very, very sensitive issue, and it's very also worried issue. Everyone is worried about that. As you hear President Venancio saying, our cost is called heroin cost. This is not a joke. That is serious. If young people, they start, they're smoking drugs, they're getting drugs, what generation are we going to have in the future?
That's right.
What kind of generation are we building for the future? So we keep doing our job. We have our groups of where we mobilize women and try to speak with them to give themselves away of this kind of habits. It's not easy because this, as we're saying here, is part of the system. It's not. It's not something that it will be easy to fight, but we have to fight, and we'll fight for it. So I believe that we have to continue to do something. That's not only for women, but for men, Jerome, also, we have to be part of it. You have to talk to women, young women. You have to talk to young guys as well. And let's fight. Let's fight against it. Thank you.
Excellent. Honorable Johnson,
Yes.
you've been in this for a heck of a long time. You were
Yes, Lord.
activist, you were everything. What will you advise the president about narcotics, illegal drugs? You are muted.
It has. Oh,
No,
no.
you're clear now. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay. Continue to speak about it. You know, as I said earlier, encourage the young people. The future is yours. We will not be in leadership and power forever, but you cannot get involved with drugs. You do not give your power to an inanimate object. If you allow drugs to take over your life, then you have no future. Mozambique has no future without you. But we need you to be clean and sober and healthy. And just as the young man was saying about the drugs into Liberia, advertise that, talk about it. There are connections. If those drugs left the airport, left the airplane, and wound up in a storehouse, talk about it. You know, they're bringing poison to our country. In the same way with Mozambique, we will not be the corridor anymore. Speak about this. These drugs are dangerous, and I can't emphasize enough the fact that a healthy nation, and these drugs speak to health, and an educated nation is a powerful nation. That's why some countries do not want their people educated. They want them healthy so they can use them and dog them out, you know, but they don't want them educated. And that's going to be a key. And you have to tell the people there's power in education. There's power in staying healthy. And we want you to participate. You know, Abraham Lincoln, I think about it and I pray about it and I tell groups about it. In his speech at Gettysburg after the Civil War, he spoke, "This nation of the people, by the people, and for the people will not perish." When I was on the campaign trail, I would use that and remind people this government, this democracy is ours. And we've got to be prepared to run it.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was the voice of the great Dolores Hawkins Johnson, the flag bearer of the AKA. If you are an AKA, you got one great representative here. But let's go back to the history of Mozambique. Let's talk about Samora Michel. Does the young people, do they understand the history?
Yes. Yeah. The Samora Machel is a giant of the history of Mozambique. He passed away struggling for the genuine liberation of Mozambique and other countries of Southern Africa as well. He said that Samora Machel, he tried to operate the words of the first president of Frelimo, Eduardo Mondlane. Eduardo Mondlane said that Africa will be free when the Africans look each others like one. And Samara Machel, he was not full happy with the liberation of Mozambique. He was worried as well with the situation of the neighboring countries, Namibia, even South Africa, and he fought in favor of these countries. That's why he passed away fighting. He is not a hero of Mozambique only. He is the hero of Southern Africa as well. He is a hero of Africa as well. And if you allow me, I want to share with you the book that I was talking about, that described with all the details what happened with the liberation parties in Southern Africa. This book is written by the author is Peter Aine, and it's Liberation and Corruption. We find here all the details, how the liberation parties drive our countries to abyss, drive our country to collapse. And what happened now, all the countries surrounding South Africa are collapsing, and all the countries find a valve in South Africa, because there is a communicating vessels within the countries in Southern Africa. That's why if our countries are collapsing, the people seeking for a solution in this valve is South Africa. That's why I emphasize the message for the March and March movement in South Africa, to understand the problem is not a foreigner. The foreigner are victims, and they become twice victims when they kill a fellow, because he is victim in his own country, because he is forced to go to other country. He is become victim twice when he find a shelter. A shelter. That's correct. When he found a shelter in other country, and they kick him again. And I advise to March and March movement to understand that the problem is the system. The problem is the communication vessel between the countries that are collapsing. All the countries are collapsing. If we don't understand that the problem is the rulers, we will kill each other. Like I told in the one of my interview in the largest private television in South Africa, I said that we are killing each other due to the beans. But the problem of the country, of our country, is not beans. It's something very huge and systematic. But we are focused on beans, and we are killing each other, looking for the beans. But we don't understand that the problem is who is responsible to provide water, to provide the better and the proper conditions to grow the beans. And if you allow me, in this book, I found a word, very interesting word, from the well-known bishop, call it Desmond Tutu.
Yes.
And Desmond Tutu, he is mentioned in this book, and this says something very interesting. In page 200, Desmond Tutu said in 1998, he said, the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. And there is no way in which you can assume that yesterday's oppressors will not become tomorrow's oppressors. This is the reason, the fundamental reason, the roots of that crisis of immigration that are the cause of that xenophobia. The cause, the fundamentals is what Desmond Tutu say in 1998. We have the new oppressors. And these new oppressors, they are causing the collapsing of our countries. And then they let us killing each other when they are in the hotels, when they are traveling in the world, when they are eating caviar. Thank you very much.
Jerome.
Yes.
I wanted to add, I mean, he is on the right track because power and money corrupt.
Absolutely.
And that is what those who want to be in positions of authority and get into positions of authority, they must remember that. Because once you're in that position, all kinds of people with all kinds of lines and pockets and buckets of money will try to entice you. Because as you said before, Mozambique is rich. And the people need a good, honest leader.
He says today's heroes could be tomorrow's oppressors.
Yes, yes.
These are folks he considered they are state captured. The drug dealers, the cartels, they have captured the state. They send money to the campaigns, they sponsor their own candidates, they put a lot of money. When the candidate win, they control, they capture the state. They capture the police, they capture the intelligence, they capture the army, they capture everywhere, and it becomes a narco state. This is why he's talking about we have to be very, very careful. Let me open the line.
Jerome,
Yes.
if you allow me,
please.
I want to share an experience with you.
Go ahead.
Elizabeth is here. Maybe she can put this very clear. In Mozambique, the journalists and even the opinion makers of the regime, they criticize us and try to undermine us and say that Anamola, we are like beggars. Because when we have some events, we are always we launch the campaign of collecting money from the people. And we launch the campaign and we say that we have an event and we ask the people to send money to us. And they say that we are like beggars. But I say that I'm very happy with this category of beggars because now when we do something like our convention, our meetings, and even the expenditures of our party, the money coming from the people send money to us. We don't have cartels giving us money. We don't have fundraising with the big uh, enterprises, the big companies. The money that we are using is money from the people. And I think that this is a blessing. They call us beggars, but I think that is a blessing because we don't have any compromise with that kind of organization that tomorrow can capture us and capture the state. Thank you very much.
That is so true, so very true, that they're not beholden to the power brokers. And they do that and they come at you because they fear you. That's what it's about. They fear the truth. And they fear anybody that they see that's starting to capture the people's heart and their attention.
Excellent, excellent. Listen, there is no other way. Like, I like what you said. You said it's a blessing.
Yes.
That poor people will give you $1, $2. It's an investment. They are investing in you. They are putting their trust in you.
Yes.
When you become president, they want a return on their investment through education, through healthcare, through infrastructure development, through women's rights, through security, through justice. That is what they want. That's what they are paying for. They're making a deposit. You are the bank. They put $1 in.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
They are not depositing millions. They don't have $1 million. They don't have corporations, but they have you. They can give you $1, $2. When you become president, they trust they're going to get a return in education. Lift them from the abyss. You said that, the abyss. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's
Jerome, just want to add something. Can we see that everything we're talking about, it's coming back to education?
That's correct.
Everything that we're talking about is coming back to education.
Yes.
We're talking about drugs. Those young people that are consuming drugs, if they have occupation, they will not doing that. If there's enough schools, if they had place to go when they wake up, they don't have place to go. They don't go to school, they don't work, they don't have jobs. And they don't even have enough information what those drugs that they're consuming, they can even be very harmful for their health. They don't. So everything, it's education. I think it's very important that we could create programs that we can make sure that those young women are pushed away from these bad habits. Thank you
very much so.
Great. Mayan, let's display the number. Let's make the number stationary so we can take few calls for the president. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in cyberspace on WhatsApp, you can call 772-940-2871 and you will get connected, or you can call 678-438-003. If you are in Liberia, you need a number to call. So the numbers are 772-940-2871. You can call and we will pull you through to the next president of the Republic of Mozambique. I got my seat already. I am going to be in Maputo. I am going to be on a campaign trail. I want to say thank you to VENANCIO for adding me onto your team. While we wait for a call, Are you looking at having a female as vice president or something? I'm not saying that, but are you considering women in your cabinet?
Yes. In fact, our current political system don't have a vice president.
Okay.
But like I told you before, Jerome, it's very easy to make philosophy. It's very easy to make a thesis, but most important is to share the what the facts and examples that we have in our organization. And now our organization, the position of decision, very serious decision.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
1 minute, Doc. Your name and where you calling from?
Antonio Mashingar from the United States.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are here in the United States is good afternoon still.
Yes.
And I just had a question for the President, VENANCIO MONDLANE.
Please go ahead.
Yes, Mr. President, good afternoon and nice to hear from you talking on the program. I just wanted to ask you a question in reference to, and just wanted to know where we are with the process of helping our brothers and sisters who are being deported from South Africa, and how much more do you need that perhaps we can support to make sure that our people are being well taken care of in our territory of Mozambique?
Thank you. People are being
Yes.
deported from South Africa. What is it that Anna Malala
Yes.
party is doing for the people?
Thank you very much, Antonio, for United States. Now, our party, we, before the deadline that was established from the March and March movement, like Anna Mola Party, we wrote a lot of letters to the government of South Africa, to the parliament, to the main parties of South Africa. Even we wrote to the SADC, Southern Africa, to the African Union as well. We wrote a lot of letters, try to advise these organizations to establish a summit to avoid bloodshed in South Africa. This is the first interventions with institutions that we made before. But now, the first day that we receive many Mozambicans, not only Mozambicans, in our terminal buses in Mozambique, we receive people from Mozambique, people from Malawi, from Zimbabwe in our country. And the Anamola was the first party, I repeat, the first party and the first organization that we gathered our members to help and to feed people that was in bus terminals in Maputo province. And we have got in my page, in my official page, you can see a lot of pictures of members of my party feed people with water, with meals. And now, yesterday, we find a way to have some trucks to take people from Malawi to the 30 province. The 30 province have a border with Malawi. and we hired some trucks to take these people from Tete. It means Anamola, we are not worried only with the Mozambicans. We have our vision is to enlarge our activities not for Mozambique, but our vision is to support as well the Africans that are in need. Is what I can share with you, Antonio. What was the activities of Anamola to do something to help the people that are in need coming from South Africa. But all of this, I said that we was the first institution because in the first day, when our people cook some meals to feed that people, the police blocked us, block our members, and forbidden our people to feed people are in need because they said that the wife of the current president, when he see our live broadcast, she said that she want to be the first one to feed these people. That's why they forbidden us to feed the people, and the people remain with anger because the police was blocking us. But in the end, they allow us to feed these people, to help these people, and to give them a hug. Thank you very much, Antonio.
Thank you. We got another caller. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Virginia. I'm calling from the USA.
Okay, go ahead.
First, I wanna greet Your Excellency. I wanna say, in honor of Mrs. Virginia Bila Montan, I'm honorable to call you my son, the President.
Yes, the name of my mama. My mom, she passed away, my mom, Virginia.
Yes.
Yes, you're my mom.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Yes. So, I will ask the question in the Portuguese.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Go ahead.
So, Mr. President, Senhor Presidente, Venancio Mondlane, obrigado por ser aquilo que tu és. E todos nós, todos os países, toda a África, está preparado, estamos prontos, estamos acordados, porque estávamos a dormir. Mas por aquilo que tu és, hoje em dia, Moçambique já é conhecido em todo o mundo. Agora, a pergunta é, qual é o primeiro, ou a primeira coisa que você vai fazer no dia, porque eu sei que vai ser presidente, que vai ser presidente do Moçambique. Qual será o primeiro ponto que o senhor presidente vai mudar para o povo moçambicano? Essa é a minha primeira pergunta.
Thank you very much, Sister Virginia. But
Can I translate this, Zena?
Yeah.
Yes,
Elizabeth
please.
can translate.
Where's the time? From my end, the time is up.
Yes.
It's 11 o'clock, so I will be leaving you people and to join you on Monday.
Please, and your parting comment to the president?
Mr. President, your priority should be education. An educated society allows a civilized environment where all of these excesses are controlled and stamped and nipped in the bud, and they do not surface for the generation to crumble. So, Mr. President, education first, education last. Educate our people so that their minds be expanded on the happenings of modern times. Thank you, and God bless you as you go on with your campaign.
Thank you very much, Freedom FM, our 2 hours. Thank you very much for being with us. We'll see you Monday, guys. Thank you very much. But we will remain on Truth FM and Care Radio and Television. Yes, Elizabeth, go ahead with the translation. What does Mother Virginia say?
Mother Virginia was asking her son that when he becomes president, because she's sure that he will be a president of Mozambique,
I can't.
what will be the first action to take if when he becomes a president? No, not if he becomes a president, but when he becomes a president, what will be the first thing that you'll do?
Your first, when you take the oath, what will be your first public policy?
Yes, I can't hear you, but hug.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear President?
But I can't hear you now.
We are starting again.
But you can hear me? You can?
Yes, yes.
You can hear me? Okay, I will speak. Maybe I thought that you give me the last words. Maybe. Yeah. I want to thank you, all of you. I can't hear you.
No,
we're still here.
We got another 30 minutes. We got 30 more minutes here.
Let him know that we still have time.
Yes.
Okay. What can I say?
Are you hearing me?
When I finish a speech in Mozambique, when I'm with my people, I say,
he's not hearing me.
I'm testing him. No, President, no, we are here. We are here.
We got 30 more minutes. We got 30 more minutes.
We are still here. Look at here. We are still here. I just texted him. Let me try to call him. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Maybe. Yeah, I can't hear you. Let me try to.
Yes.
He's back. Okay.
Hold on, he's having problem with his gadget. Okay, but go ahead. Your question, your name and where you calling from?
Yes, this is Professor Peter Diangui.
Okay.
Of Anamalala, Africa.
Okay, go ahead.
Is President Venancio gone or is he still with us?
He's coming back.
He's coming back. He's having problem, but you can go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to ask him. Yes, maybe when he comes back, I can ask.
Okay, call back.
Okay.
Guys, if you are calling, please turn off all your other gadgets. You can't be watching and calling at the same time. We're gonna have problems. That's what we're having issues with. You have to either listen and call, but you cannot listen and call. Victor, welcome back. Johnny, welcome back to the show. The president is here. We got another 20 minutes for him to be with us. We asked for 2 hours. He's been here 2 hours, but we give us 30 more minutes. Hopefully, can you hear me, Doc? Venancio, can you hear me?
I know you were struggling. I don't think he can hear you.
Yeah. No.
Elizabeth, tell him to go out and come back in.
Yeah, he just
Johnny,
did it.
welcome to the show. Hopefully you've been listening, Johnny.
Yes, I've been listening. I'm very much interested because I'm one of those who think that we need to have a new generation of leaders on the continent of Africa.
He's
And
52.
following, are you hearing me?
Yes, I think he's only 52.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. We need to have a new generation of leaders on the continent, and we have few of them already. We have Touareg, we have Boko from Botswana, and we have few of them on the continent. So we hope that we can have more young people on the continent. That is why in Liberia we have a candidate of the same young age, Edo and adult already, Mr. Dr. Clarence K. Monimba, who is also interested in being Liberia's next president. I just wanted to know from him how is he trying to identify people of like mind on the continent to see how they can collaborate and work together in the interest of Africa.
Okay, we are still having problems. Somebody's mic is open. We got several people be calling. We can't bring them on because they want to talk to the president.
So can you translate my message to him if he's coming on now?
He's coming.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Great. Johnny, let me welcome Johnny. Johnny is anthropologist, sociologist, culturalist from Liberia, and he traveled all over Africa. He knows his interest is culture, our culture preservation. We also have Victor Nangwe. Mr. Nangwe is an old revolutionary, just like we are. We all follow Michelle when in the 70s when we were in school, even we were kids. Samara was a big deal in Africa, in Liberia.
It was,
so
yes.
we are very glad to be in that orbit. The question he's asking is, you have like-minded people, young people like you in different countries in Africa running for president. Are you networking with them? Are you in contact? Who else are you in contact with in other countries that are running, that think like you, that behaves like you, somebody that you have a lot in common? Are you networking? Are you connecting with other Pan-Africanists?
Yes. Yeah, this is the challenge that we established for ourselves after the convention. We want to reinforce our network, diplomatic network. And I know in Malawi there is a young man there. He's the son of the former president of Malawi, Bakil Muluzi. He's running now for be the president of Malawi as well. But we are now, how can I say, we are in the stage of reinforce. We are in the beginning now. Our party now have only nine months. Our party was funded in August last year, but we thank you for this advice. We must take care of this issue, and we will reinforce. That's why it was a secret, but I will share with you. Elizabeth, she's here. Elizabeth, we will we establish the structure of our. We elected our bodies of our party, our national council, our executive commission. We elected the president, but next week we will indicate our coordinators for different departments. And one of the departments that we will indicate the coordinator is the related with the foreign affairs. And Elizabeth will be will be the coordinator of our foreign affairs of our party to reinforce that party that we now
Elizabeth,
we know that we need to reinforce.
Mr. Kevin, we have someone who wants to ask a question here.
Okay, go ahead from Liberia. Go ahead.
Yes.
Put him through.
This is something that we lack.
1 minute.
But we know that we must reinforce that connection, that network. Thank you very much.
Okay, Doc.
For that
Go ahead,
advice.
put him through.
Thank you for
Very
revealing the
precious
secret,
advice.
Mr. President.
1 minute. Yes, put him through.
Oh my God. I can't hear you again. I don't know what happened here.
Okay, just put him through and they will answer the question.
Oh my God.
Mayan,
you can hear me?
yes.
Oh.
Mayan, put him through.
I think that I must to do the same procedure.
Yes.
I must do the same procedure.
Yes. Your name and where you calling from?
Oh, you talking to me, sir?
Yes.
Oh, my name is Ana Maria Mashingere. I'm calling from Washington, D.C.
Okay, go ahead.
In Maryland.
Yes.
Yes. I have a question. Good evening, Mr. President-elect. I have a pleasure to meet you in a Zoom before, but first and foremost, I wanted to say congratulations of everything that is happening with our country and our people. And I would like also to congratulate my sister Elizabeth. I know her personally. The work that she's been doing, she's really a tough cookie. And she's fighting for the people, and I know who she is. She's fighting for the right things, because we all know where we are and where we're coming from and where we're going. But I know God is leading our president-elect to go to the right path. Because before, we never had this thing that is happening in the United States, that we are able to be in a Zoom or to be anywhere with the president-elect of our country. So I'm very proud of you two doing this thing. And also for the line that you guys open up, the international line, for us to be able to call and voice our own opinion of what we think or what we see about the country. My question is this. Mr. President-elect, even though I know the South Africa is fighting with all the black people of that African nation, are you able to communicate with any other presidents besides South African government people, or are you able to communicate with Malawian or Zimbabwe, Zambia, Namibia, anywhere, any source of those people, the opposite parties? Because I know those in government, they will not take you like the way you want to express yourself. Why? Because they're all eating from the same pot, and we all understand that. Just like the drugs that you guys are talking about, that they all know where these drugs is coming from, and they know what these drugs are doing to our children. The future of our children, the future of our country, it depends on our children. If our children are sitting underneath the tree, how are they going to wake up tomorrow to say, you know what, I must go to school? If they are hungry, they don't even have a bench for them to sit down and study. In Mozambique, that is like a living condition every single day. That's what we go through. People are suffering. What are we going to do to change this nation, to change the African narrative? Not only South Africa, but I'm talking about Africa in general. Mozambique is rich with the resources, but we are poor individuals because of the people that are in parliament, the people that are in government. So what are you going to do about that, Mr. President? What kind of movement are you going to make? I know your mother, Regina, just said something, but I just want to know from my own point of view what I see in the country. What are you going to attack first? Are you going to attack to educate, which is the guy, the last person just spoke. He said education first, education the last. So what are we going to go for, Mr. President?
Thank you very much. We passed the question on. The line is open. I know we missed few here. Hopefully he comes back on. We got about another 11 minutes to go. We look forward. Well, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are on the screen and watching and listening, You just heard the president in waiting has appointed my own friend, Elizabeth Kona, as the foreign minister in waiting. Victor, you are making history. You are part of history here.
Absolutely, and
Yes,
congratulations,
that's
Elizabeth.
right. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I see a
I
lot of
didn't know that's I think I was still keeping the secret.
yeah.
That was a surprise to me.
That's a pleasant.
I'm
That's a
honored
pleasant
and
surprise. That's a pleasant surprise.
yeah, it was a surprise, and then it will be that will require me to work more
Yeah,
than I do.
absolutely. And we were just talking
It's a big
about
responsibility.
what's happening in South Africa. I'm sure that's going to demand a lot of your attention now, as the you know